So you want to draw a kitty cat. Okay, we can do that. Now, the lesson for today, you are going to be drawing along with us. This picture is actually down in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to need for this, obviously, you are going to need some paper. You are also going to need a pencil. And if you so feel inclined, you are going to need an eraser. Now, this is completely optional. For me, what I'm going to do, because I am stepping you through this process, I am also going to be using some colored pencils. This is just so I can get my base outline done, shapes, and all that other stuff. Because when you draw something in real life, it's a lot easier to break everything down into basic shapes first. And that's why I'm going to be using these. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, let's look at the main form of the picture. So the picture itself, we can break all this down into basic shapes. I'm going to start off by drawing the cat's head, and it is a circle. So let's start right over here, about right there, and we're going to draw a circle. Now, from this circle, then we can go and we can draw out different shapes and aspects of it. The circle will actually be from the cheekbones of the cat right here, and we have the head that comes down a little bit lower like that, and then we have the jaw, the neck and fluff over here into the chest of the cat, which is about right there, and then we are going to draw the face. Now the face of the cat, we are going to be kind of drawing it like this right here, looking down, and we have the jawbone right there, and then let's go ahead and map this out. So we have the nose, which is roughly a triangle, goes down to the center of the face right there. We're going to mark that as the bottom of the cheeks. And then we'll map out the eyes. We know the eyes go somewhere around this part of the cat's head. So, football shape right about here. This cat has some really big eyes because, well, I don't know. She was born with some big eyes, I guess. Okay, and right over here. Boom. Big eyes, just like that. And you notice we're breaking this down into basic shapes first. Then, from here, let's basic shape on the ears. So triangle here. And these don't have to be perfect. In fact, you are going to go back in and fix these later. These are just here so we can see it. Basic shapes of everything. And we have the basic neck of the cat. The chest of the cat is actually turned in a sideways profile, so it'll be right about here. And then comes down into the neck, over, into the body like that, and then the legs. We have roughly a shoulder right here, one right there, goes down into a paw, and then we have a big old fluffy rear leg of the cat. All right, basic shapes, doesn't look great. That's okay. That's what we're going for. Now I'm going to use this orange, and we're really going to start defining the shapes of the cat, making it look more like what we see. And again, I am doing this because it's easier to pick up on the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Nose right there, and we can go into the cheeks. And we actually see that the cat's face comes up like that and then kind of goes down and rounds out. So this is now structured more like a kitty cat. That leg actually needs to come up more about right here. And then the ears. Ears come up and around. Kind of come up to a point, then down and over, kind of like that. So basic shapes with the cat. Now that we have the basic shapes done, we have our animal mapped out and graphed. Now we can go over and we can start adding in our final lines, or go over to our pencil for me anyway. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding in all the details around. And once you have this mapped out and you have it sketched, this is the easy part. Now all you have to do is just fill in what you see the way that you see it. And you can do this with a pen or you can do it with a pencil. It does not really matter. It's whatever you want to use. Just remember that when you are doing this, it is just like the form drawings that we did in class. You need to look at what you are drawing. So over like that, curve that up and around and into, the little cheeks of the cat and the whiskers. Now, whenever you are looking at this, and I always have some students that are watching my videos and they say, I can't do that. There is no way I can do that. Yes, you can. I just explained exactly how you can. It's just basic shapes. That's it. And as you go around and as you complete this, you're just going to keep adjusting the shapes as you need them. That's basically it. And it's basic shapes. The more you practice with it, the better you're going to get at it. That's really as simple as it gets. And once you have your basic shapes down, you just basically match everything up around it. And I know this looks a little scary with the lines that I have going everywhere, but if we were to clean these up, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now so you can see, these lines actually erase pretty well. Just always remember to look at what you're drawing and draw it the way you see it. It's as simple as it is. Now I can tell that I kind of messed up on the eyes a little bit. I made the head a little bit too elongated. If I were to move these eyes up a little bit, it would probably be better. However, with me drawing the lines that I did, I'm kind of stuck where I'm at. I can move them up a little bit, but not by much. But that is the beautiful thing about drawing, because who is to say that this cat just didn't look that way? I got a deformed little kitty. I'm okay with that. All right, so now comes to the fun part of drawing cats, and that is the fur. The fur is really, really fun. So the best part about drawing cats and dogs is the fur. The fur and the hair is really awesome because you can sink a lot of detail into it. And how you do fur and hair on pets, it's actually really simple. It is just a bunch of shading. That's it. That's all it is. So you start in the darker areas and you work your way out. So just like this. So going around right through here, going up, and you just look at where the darker areas are, and then you shade in with the other areas. So you want to leave the white areas white, so the white of the paper, and the other areas you just kind of want to shade where they need to be shaded at. With ears, it's really easy because they have white hairs that stick out of them usually. Just shade around the colors that you want, like right around in here. And then, for the white hairs, just take your eraser and go whoop. There you have the white hairs. And you are going to continue doing this all over where the darker areas are and the lighter areas. And if you make a darker area too dark, all you have to do to fix it is go back over it with your eraser and it'll pick it right back up. And with the whiskers, those little white hairs, it's the same thing. As soon as we get done with the shading around it, we're going to go back in and we're going to add in those little white whiskers by going shoop, shoop, shoop with the eraser. zoop, 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 zoop. And yes, very important you make those sound effects. If you don't, you're not in art class. You have to make sound effects. Makes your artwork better. True story. It really does. So all I'm doing here, I'm just looking at where the shadows are in the artwork. I'm just adding them in as I see them. So in the picture, just look where the shadows are. And the technique I'm doing here is I'm actually adding in the shadows with the fur. So I'm going with the way the fur is lining down. So it's curving around this way. So I'm going to be adding the shadows in, curving with the fur. Little technique. And woodworkers actually do the same thing. So whenever you're carving, you want to cut with the grain, not against the grain. So that is a little tip for you if you're ever into woodworking or anything like that, if you'd like to get into it. Okay, so I believe that at this point you have seen enough of this drawing exercise to be able to go out and create your own. So, using the image provided in the description, which is boom, that picture there, you're going to be drawing that picture along with me, and you're going to be finishing it up. So I know that I finished right here. You actually are going to be finishing the entire artwork. And the reason why I didn't finish it completely is because I want you all to be able to apply what you've learned into your drawing. So please go ahead, shade in the remaining part of this artwork, and then submit it into the Google Classroom. Yes, for my students, please make sure you submit your work into the Google Classroom, because if you don't, I won't be able to grade it. So please make sure you do that. If you are not one of my students, but you would like to be in the class, you can go ahead and follow along with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are not a student, because I'm going to be uploading my videos that I teach in the classroom, so you too can follow along at home if you want. All right, thank you all very much. Make sure you finish up your artwork and then submit it to me in the Google Classroom. See you guys. Have a great day.